Hello.
Hey, hello everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Ciao Mark.
Hi Mark. Ciao.
Hello.
We just wait a few minutes for the people who is coming, and then we can start talking. So now we only have a few numbers of people around here. So let's wait, and I will share the link on Facebook. So
Okay. Yes, I already shared it on Telegram channel.
I will do the same.
oh, thanks.
I was trying, but my phone. Yeah.
Okay.
I just share the link with the introduction.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Very
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
You can see it
Hi,
in stories.
Ciao Marco.
Ciao Marco. Ciao Fra.
How can I see the? How can I see? I have to go to the YouTube link, isn't it?
Yeah.
To see
I can share it on the. No. How can I share it?
Yeah, I put my phone and I will be able to see it.
Okay. Perfect.
Marco.
Or not.
Ciao.
No, maybe.
Do you have questions, please?
Wait a second.
Write it on.
Yeah.
Ciao Masetti. Hi Masetti.
So tonight we will obviously talk in
English.
Itanglish and
In
Spanglish. so
With gestures.
It will be funny. Mark is disappeared, as you can see.
Sorry.
Hello. And so we are here with one of our favorite artists in miniature world.
Absolutely.
One of mine.
Absolutely.
I just want to do a little introduction because probably the first time we met was in 2005, something like that. Golden Demon, Spanish Golden Demon, or something like that.
It's been. I'm young, but I've been here for a long time.
And I absolutely remember your entry because was my favorite in that show. It was the giant, the giant with the. Do you remember the?
We met before.
Met before.
We met in Germany.
In
person. Exactly. So the first time was in Golden Demon, but that was maybe 2008. Probably you were there.
Yes.
2008, and I wrote the orc. An orc there, and I think it was 2008. But I think that time, that year, we attended to German Golden Demon. I was with Diego, with Pedro, with Paloji. And I remember you with Renata. We were there. Exactly, with the long beards.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, the German Golden Demon was always a beautiful show.
Really, the most creative one, probably.
No, the French one was the most creative.
Not different.
The French.
Yeah,
one.
the French
you
one
were
was
you were very, very young, isn't it? Mark.
Yeah, that
Me too.
time I was 17, 18.
Wow.
I was 17, I think, that in 2008. No, not 19.
19. Yeah.
Such a
young.
great stuff.
At the end,
Absolutely.
anyway, I absolutely remember from the Spanish Golden Demon your
Ciao, Albert. Mark.
oh, ciao Albert.
Hi,
Your
Albert.
beautiful,
Hey, Albert. Prendama.
your beautiful giant.
The one with the cage.
Yeah,
With
yeah. It was,
wonderful one.
was
Really
amazing.
wonderful one.
And I remember that because when I just create the selection for the mummy, was the first figure I choose from the international painters, and you were not. It was your hobby, so it's probably
You
I
were
was not a
a
professional, yeah.
at that time.
It was one of
Well,
your
I was
first-
starting. I started doing commissions in 2008, actually, but not. I mean, it was, and it wasn't until 2013. Actually, it's 10 years from now that I started as a freelance. Being un autónomo en España, pagando impuestos, paying taxes, and all that. But I wasn't a full-time painter in 2012. That time.
Yeah, the good old days of German Golden Demon. That show in many ways saved me my will to go to shows, showing me what competition can also be. Absolutely true. Absolutely.
So before to start with this conversation or interview with Marc, and before to take a look at the studio, if someone has some questions, please write in a comment. We're going to read. We got also a few questions already.
Yeah,
On our
we're going
Telegram
to talk.
channel, absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to talk about you and your approach with miniature painting, stuff like that.
First question.
The first one.
Wow.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
made you
good
decide
question.
to start teaching? That one. So you can read it.
What made you decide to start teaching? At what point did you realize that it was time and that you could do it?
Okay, that's a good question. For everyone who knows what is to be a miniature painter and to make your job from this, you know that it's not easy only to focus on doing commissions to get your all the business focus on that. You need something else, and I thought that I had to expand my business as a painter, not only doing box arts or collectors, and I wanted to do something else. Of course, my mother is a teacher, and I have learned that from home. I like a lot to share the things that someone else shared with me, or the things that I've known. And I remember my first workshops in Barcelona. I just started because some people asked me, would you like to come and teach? Because it's not something that came from me. It's just because it was after someone.
Asked you.
But I think about that time now, and I'm sure that I wasn't ready. Someday you have to start, and
yes, absolutely.
It's what it is. But I remember that the first workshops, I didn't have a clear idea, neither the way to run a class, and what I was trying to explain. Now I have much more clear my idea about painting, my approach, and it's easier for me to share, apart because of being teaching a lot national and international workshops. But that time I was not I think I wasn't thinking if I was ready or not. I just started because someone asked me that if I could teach and explain what I was doing on my painting.
The thing is, I'm very fascinated about teaching and pass and share techniques and thoughts, because it's something that, I mean, my point of view, is something that you're going to explain your point of view. I mean, how you see colors, figures, and the approach in it. You're going to share something about you. I was saying the same with Arnaud. Teaching and sharing the old stuff is something that you give about yourself. I think I like this idea.
Yeah, I've been lucky in that sense, because I had my main masters were Alfonso and Jose Palomares.
Yeah,
and I think also, especially from the influence of Alfonso, that he transmitted to me that spirit of sharing knowledge, of feeling the teaching as something. I agree with you, Stefano, with the idea of sharing something that is inside. It's not only sharing your art, but sharing how you feel it, how you think it. Also your story, because the painter you are now, it's a long time painting, a lot of moments, and you are explaining all that moments, focusing just in a weekend or in a class, and I think it's doing like I don't know if I will be able to say that in English. It's doing like a revision of your life, of all your learning, but focus or concentrated in just
in a figure, in a moment. I agree with you. Is something is behind. There's lots of stories, failures, struggling,
and also not only the good moments, because the result, but also the bad, because being a good teacher is also sharing that experience where things went wrong and you didn't succeed, and I think we all need that if we want to grow as painters.
Absolutely.
In the person,
whatever.
Failure is important.
Yeah, the best way to improve is just to understand when you did it wrong. So
and
this I got a lots of questions in my mind right now. How did you start? And how did you start? Why did you start? Where did you start? I mean, probably with Games Workshop, probably. Oh, my baby. And then lots of questions, that are running in my mind about frustration. How do you approach? Do you have a moments where you just pissed off? You say, okay, I can't move on. I have to stop. I have to, just take a breath, relax myself.
In all these years, or you mean?
No, I mean, yes,
a lot of, but I don't think it's something different from any other job. I think when you do something for a long time, it's impossible that at some point you just put that activity in front of you and say, why I'm doing this? Is this this is supposed to make me happy, but there are being some moments that I'm not happy because I have stress, because I have commitments that are commitments, but I don't want to do it. And but then I say to myself, I don't imagine nowadays myself doing something different. So I'm super into this. So I cannot think me doing.
So you've got a very professional approach, isn't it right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
you have to do this. This is your job, and
by now
you say, okay, I have to do that, and so I have to stay on my chair and paint.
if you are I've been doing box arts for the last 10 years, and a little bit more, because when I started doing box arts, I just did a few 28 millimeters and things like that, but I was not really I was not already a freelance, but I was getting paid for my job anyway.
Do you understand what Carlotta is saying?
He's saying.
Mi voy esposo. No.
It means,
No,
do you want to marry me?
just
Carlo,
now.
Carlo.
Thank you. I'm already married.
Okay.
Hola, Teresa. Nice. We know with Carlotta we've met, or
yeah, but probably you're going to marry with Carlotta, and Carlo is her
Husband.
husband.
Is that her husband?
I didn't know. What I'm not. I'm committed with another person. Sorry.
Be prepared.
No.
So,
What I was.
You were saying about the approach about the paint when you have to, because as professional,
It's your job, yeah.
Yeah, and I think for a long time doing this as a box art. Sometimes it's just you need to separate from what you're doing. It's not a piece for a collector or for yourself or a contest. It's something that you have to be efficient. You have to be fast. You have to, at the beginning, for me, when I was starting with this job and I was learning with Jose, who is my mentor as a professional, who taught me really what is to be a miniature painter as a box art. You learn to do this not only in an efficient way, but also in a way that it's ¿cómo se dice en inglés?
Try to speak in Spanish.
Bueno, que es rentable, ¿no? You have to understand that there's a time for doing special pieces, and there's other time that is just make it as good as possible, as beautiful as possible, but in the less time as any other job that it was a factory, and you take some distance with that figures, and for me, I'm sure that you will agree in that part. There are projects that you are very connected with because you put a lot of your soul, and others that is just another one. It doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. It's just that it's something that you do it and it works as a box art. It doesn't have to be the best piece as always. It just have to show the qualities of that figure, to be beautiful for the pictures, and that's all. And at some point, I think I got in my mind, I was doing this a little bit as a machine, and it's like I was as a robot, and not thinking more than being productive and being efficient. And if we had, when I was in Big Child, doing some run, you remember the game Rum and Bones?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
And in the morning, I got there, I had a new figure on my table, 28 millimeters, and I had 7 hours, and I had to do it. And so
I think, as Albert is saying, that you need to make ends meet an end of the day.
Yeah.
To do what? What is our?
You have to finalize the day. I mean, you have
absolutely.
to earn.
Absolutely. But Mark, do you still have time to do personal stuff and enjoy it?
I am starting to do personal stuff.
Okay.
Now I see Albert a comment. You need to make ends meet at the end of the day. Posa'm un català que no m'entero. You were saying, sorry.
No, don't worry. I just
are you? I mean, do you enjoy to paint for yourself?
I haven't been able to do that for a long time, and one of the ideas with the new approach I'm doing of my work with the school, later we will talk about, and also keep doing the workshops and all that. Also, I decided to start my personal project with my brother, that I think is here, Olalish. Producing figures that I paint for myself. Actually, the lumberjack, it's not a figure that I will sell. It's a figure that is for me. It will stay in my cabinet, and maybe if I paint another one, but that figures will be only for me, and I want to keep them. It's something that I learned also from Arnaud, that he was doing his brand, and when you paint figures for yourself, and also for your brand, maybe you can make the money with the production of the video, the production of the figure, and you don't have the necessity, because this is the problem of being a miniature painter as a full-time job, that it's difficult, that you have time to paint figures for yourself. If I have free time, I don't like to paint. I like to go training. I like to go out with my friends or whatever. I prefer to do any other activity but painting. So now I want to find a way to paint figures while I'm working, but without the necessity of selling that models, because I also like to have my own collection when someone comes to the school and see the cabinets I have behind, to be able to show figures I have painted. And sometimes, Fabrizio, when we work for collectors, sometimes the figure is finished and then you ship it and goodbye.
Sure.
And
I agree.
And we put a lot on our projects, so sometimes I see that later, many years later, a figure maybe in a collector's house or whatever. I say, oh, I remember you. It's something I did. I remember that moment, and so I think that maybe in 10 years or when I grew old, I would like to keep some of these projects, because they remind me to a moment of my life. I don't know if you, as a painter, you feel the same.
Absolutely. It's
that connection with the project. I'm happy that a lot of people want to have a figure I have painted on their house. I'm super thankful for this, but also I want to keep some of this for myself.
I agree with you.
But it's been a difficult. It's been very challenging to change my job in now being able to make money from other parts of or activities related to miniature painting, and leave that part of figures for.
But it could be also with Patreon or something like that, or not.
I am thinking about the Patreon, but it's something that if it comes, it will be at the end of this year. Not now, because now I have other projects and I want to focus with it. But Patreon it's something that just another way, to share my painting, the way I do things. I'm recording a lot of videos, but until I don't have like 3 or 4 finished projects, I don't want to start, because then I'm not sure if I will be able to do every month a new video. So I need like a previous work done and then release it in time.
We already got a couple of questions. Before to read these questions, how did you start with? I mean, did you start playing with games?
Well, when we were I was 13 or 14. I discovered the Warhammer and all that in a I don't know how to explain the play well, because of friends of the school. Let's say that. And then with my cousin and also my brother, we started collecting. After some Christmas, we got some models, and I started with the Lord of the Rings, with the Two Towers box, and then the Return of the King. That big of the game, probably, you know. And I played Lord of the Rings, but I really didn't like to. I mean, I'm not good at table and board games and strategic and all that. So we usually invented the rules, and we just throw the dice, with no much spirit of playing properly and then I realized that I prefer much more, you know, to invest a lot of time painting one single miniature than painting and I started about 14, 15 to paint, but not much playing.
And then your passion grew up more and more.
Yeah, because I met Albert, I met Iago Pineda. Now it's retired. It's an architect and he's not, but Fabrizio, I'm sure that you remember him.
I know him. Yeah.
He was an incredible talented. He was like Albert at that time, like Maxime Penot when they were 17. They were genius.
Absolutely.
And actually, Iago won the sword when he was 15. So just the year after Youngblood, he entered in single, and then he won the Slayer. So they were very good, and they are from Catalonia, as I am. And we met in a Games Workshop contest. You know, in the shops they did a small contest
in the local store.
And we met there. We start talking by messenger. For the young people, you don't know what's that, but if there's someone young watching us.
So Carlotta is asking if you actually is asking if you painting on canvas, or did you paint any? I mean, did you try to paint in canvas or
traditional painting?
I have painted only one canvas, I think, in my life, and it was a present for the girlfriend I was with when I was 20. And I think it's the only painting I've done properly. In canvas, and it's something that I've done some watercolor and things like that, but just as experiment summertime when I have
some stuff.
But I really would love to, because I am a very, very bad drawer, and I would love to learn. I don't draw really good because I haven't practiced. I know how to copy things, but I don't have my mind prepared for that. And I would love to have some times to play with oils, to try on a flat surface. I think because now, for example, I am exploring a lot. My references are not anymore in figures, are in canvas, in photography, cinema, you know.
That's another
reality. But not miniatures. So I am super interested, and when I go to a museum, we have a couple of very interesting. Okay, Carlotta, thank you.
You can marry.
I would love to. I have had some canvas painters in workshops, and it's super interesting. I don't know if you have had canvas painters on people that does not come from miniature art. So they have another approach, and when they start painting a figure, the result is like, okay, you are a very good painted. Maybe you haven't painted much figures, but for sure you have painted a canvas, because there are some concepts, some ideas that we are applying on the miniature that require a lot of comprehension and understanding of the color, and maybe that the figure is not something that you are very how do you say, that you don't usually work with, but the skills are there, and
You've
for me,
got the mindset.
yeah.
And also the three-dimensional way to paint is different than a bidimensional. So that's the biggest gap you have when you paint in both situations. So
some people were asking also if you have some workshop planned in Italy.
Yes.
Or
now I don't have workshops. I have a lot of 3 or 4 emails to answer about workshops in Europe. Some in Spain, some in Germany, in Switzerland, and I will plan from September probably, because now I have some tour in on April in United States, and then when I come back, I will probably not be able to travel much, because I also want to have weekends for myself. But in the second half of this year, I'm open to, and actually I talked to Matteo Carnevale to organize something in Rome. I will probably do it second half of this year, but I would love to, because the last workshop I taught when before the lockdown, it was in Rome, and actually was the week before. Italy was already on lockdown in the north, and I remember that I came back to Barcelona after that workshop with the last few flies that
wow,
it was crazy. We didn't know anything. It was that weekend, you know, that week, the 8th of March of 2020, that everything exploded everywhere, and they did the lockdown the next weekend. So that 8th of March, I was in Rome with Davide, exactly, with Davide Rainone, and we had a situation in the place we were doing the workshop. It was crazy, but I would love to, because we had a great time there, and also.
But by the way, you've got your own school.
Yeah.
Can you show to
us?
We can do a tour.
You can do a tour in your studio.
Love to.
And think about to all person that is following us. Think about to go there instead of ask him to come here.
Okay.
Let's see the tour.
I have to disconnect the computer. Well, this is the room where I paint. This is the table where I record some videos. The other table here, I have cabinet, and the other table. Now I don't have the lamps here, but because I'm using much more the other one. There is the street, and probably here there are some of the students. Say hi.
Ciao.
These are some of the students that came to the class this afternoon. We usually spend some time after the class having dinner or sharing some beers. And this is the table of Jero Miniatures, Veronica Armona, and
lovely logo.
And I have to really turn, because if not I will fall on the stairs. And this is the room where we do the classes.
Fantastic.
The students can leave some, the stuff in there, and here we have some of the books, and so these are some of the projects of the students, because they usually leave the projects here.
Amazing.
And,
wonderful.
We have
Wonderful studio.
Wonderful. It is. We just started this last year, and it's been 1 year since we arrived in this new studio, and yeah, we're very happy. We're very happy with the. Just a second. I need to connect the cable. And we are having a couple of groups during the week where and we do some coaching. They bring their projects, and me and Jero, we are helping to develop their projects. Not like one figure that we all paint the same, but all
different figures.
Brings,
Okay.
So it's better because they came 3 hours afternoon from 6 to 9, and I think it's better for learning, not to focus in, if it's possible, because when you travel around, you can travel every week, but here, the students can learn a little bit every week, and we help with the with their projects in a much more fluid and an easy way for them. And then during the weekends, we organize special workshops if we have something specific that we want to show, and that's it.
Super nice. Super.
Okay. Somebody wants to know if you will do more models with video, like
yes.
you did in...
If my brother is still here, I could ask him if we have. No. I won't give you the exclusive.
Okay.
No. I think my brother would kill me. And also, I like the surprise effect.
Okay.
We are working. The figure is almost finished.
Okay, fantastic.
We have other figures coming that are already on process. And the figure is going to be a girl, and also contemporary, very something that could be contemporary figurative art.
Okay. Who's the sculptor?
Alex Muñoz.
Okay.
Alex Muñoz. Yeah, this second figure is the same. Then we have other sculptors that I can. I won't tell now, but yeah, this is going to be the second release. Probably will be at the beginning of April.
Okay.
And my idea is to do this project, just a few, maybe 4 or 5 a year, figures that are related to something of my life. Things that the lumberjack was an experiment, and the original idea was not meant to be as commercial as it is. It was for my workshops, just to have a canvas to practice specific techniques. A simple figure with leather, the face, the X for non-metallic. But then after the first workshop with it, and talking with my brother, we thought, what happened if we start doing this? Let's see if people is interested. And I found very attractive the idea of doing something related to the school, to Masclans, to my school, and teaching. Not. I don't think about selling a model. I think about selling a canvas to practice, or as the excuse to produce this. That will be Alberto. As excuse to show some different techniques, my approach for doing different materials,
all the questions are around here.
No. I've been wearing glasses since I was 11, I think. I changed this once. This is a present of my girlfriend.
Another guy who is not here wants to know if you will paint the lumberjack with a Chiara Ferragni T-shirt. I don't know, something
What?
like that.
I think he doesn't know Chiara
You don't
Ferragni.
know who is Chiara Ferragni? Is probably the most
famous
biggest influencer in the
in
world.
the world.
She's an influencer.
Ah, see?
Yeah. Because she wore a particular dress during an event in Italy.
Not a miniature event.
Not a miniature.
Not a miniature event.
Il Festival di Sanremo.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway.
Don't worry.
It's just
I think I will keep doing a lot of versions of the lumberjack because I have some workshops with it. But it's also for you that at least I'm sure, Fabrizio, you have done a lot of workshops. What do you think about having the same doing the workshop with a specific subject with the same figure? Because I found it much more interesting and easy for me when I go to a workshop and I paint over a figure that I already know, that I have painted before. It makes the things easy for me to be much more direct. And at the end, for the students, it's the first time they meet that figure. For us, maybe it's the third, the fourth, the fifth. But I think it makes the class much more easy to follow because we know exactly what we want to explain.
I agree with you, Mark.
About the techniques, I agree with you. But when I easily get bored by painting several times the same figure. So that's the limit. That's the only limit. But I agree with you.
But there is teaching. I feel that when I go to a workshop, it's like and understand me that the context of what I say, it's like going to a concert and you play your songs and that's it. And every time is the experience of doing that. But you have to understand that it's a work. And when you go there, people want to hear your songs. You have played them thousands of times, but for them it's the first time.
I agree with you. When I used to when I used to teach and when I used to make workshops, I used to paint in advance one figure.
Yeah.
We working in the same figure, but I used to paint in advance one figure just to have an example at the end of the work what it is, and then during the workshop change a little bit. Maybe you take fun just changing. Or something and explaining. But I agree with you, Mark. It's quite interesting to have all classroom the same figure working on it and have the example finished.
Yeah, I always have the figure ready or a figure in process to bring to the class so people can see not only what I'm doing but also unfinished versions of that figure. And I have to confess also that I'm very excited when I go to a workshop to see new approaches for the figure, because I have painted several times but similar approach, and then when I see someone else in Lyon this last month, it was very interesting to see some of the very talented painters that came that did something that I wasn't expecting. And it's cool because I am teaching, but I'm learning at the same time, because I learn from the students interpretations, ideas about the volume that because of my way of thinking, I didn't see. And this is super cool because at the end it seems that this is just one direction, me teaching, and
it's an exchange.
It is.
I saw one of an interpretation of your lumberjack where that one with the Punisher. Absolutely love that.
Yeah. He did a very good job with the lumberjack, and he also did like a lot of in the knuckles with blood and trying to do the Punisher. It was really good. He's very talented and creative.
And I think that your lumberjack did pretty well. I mean, great. I mean, has been a success.
Yeah. We were super happy with that. I didn't expect that would work this way. Probably the video helps, and probably that it's the first time I do things like this. But I hope that in the future things continue working with.
I really loved that it's very smooth. It's very flat surface. You know, there's no texture sculpted. You have
that is when you ask me about the canvas, and I was thinking I like to talk about the miniatures as a canvas, a flat canvas, and I don't know what you think. There are a lot of figures nowadays that are very baroque, very how do you say, detailed.
Texturized,
incredible quality sculptures, because now 3D allows to do details and things super cool and super complex. But I think that if the figures are that complex, the painters invest much more time in defining all those details than creating and adding things to that figure, to that canvas. So I was thinking about the figure, and for the next releases will be exactly the same. Figures that are more volumetric, more general, and figures that force the painters to draw on the model, not only represent the volume, but to invent and create textures, new volumes, things that are not on the sculpture. And for that, you need a canvas that it's almost flat. The idea with the jumper was to have no texture, because the exercise consists in creating a texture on a flat surface, you know. So, and the same with the hair, for example. You know that some figures have the hair super sculpted in lines, and then for painting it's much complicated. And I found more interesting this and to become the painter a sculptor somehow, because he's adding information to the model.
Yeah, but the job of the sculptor sometimes is to draw the model. So if you imagine to be a sculptor, probably I will do the same with too many details. I don't know. I don't know if I can do something.
But the final sculptor is for painter. He's not a real.
Absolutely, I
he's
agree.
not a real sculptor.
Yeah. I love when the sculptor gives space for the painters. Absolutely. But at the moment, most of the sculptors are sculptors and drawer. So that's the problem. One of my favorite about that is Alan Carrasco. He always gives space to the painters for
because he's a painter as well, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting point, actually. That when the sculptor have done music painting before, he knows exactly how to do things, and even for the companies, the brands that work with them, it's easier to understand and communicate the ideas of what they want, because at the end, this is the base of everything. It's the sculpt work. The sculptors are the creators of the canvas. A lot of credit go to the painters, but at the end, without the canvas, there is no hobby. So
yeah.
So, what do you think about artificial intelligence at the moment?
Question.
Easy question.
We talked a lot about that so many times in pub and also in some in some show before
Yeah.
this. We talked a lot about that because it's the moment. So
I think that first that I'm completely useless with technology, so that's something that well, for me, I can't talk about technology as something I know because I'm very bad with it. But I had a student that came to my workshop in Lyon that using an artificial intelligence, he put some ideas about a man acts this kind of jacket, and the app the program created some references for painting the lumberjack. And when I saw that, it was like, wow, that would make things super easy for me because I have a figure that I don't know what to do. I just put in the program some parameters and then it gives me the right reference I need. So
yeah.
But no, I think every time if we are legal with that, we know that every time that a new technology comes to human life and things that or we think that it will substitute men or human work, we are afraid of this change and all that. But at the end, there will always be the necessity of the human hand, and especially for us because this intelligence is fitted with images, and those images have to be created by humans.
By humans. My thoughts, my personal thoughts are, I'm not against the AI. That's fine. I mean, can help, the human work in a soft way. But I'm interested more what is behind an art or a draw or whatsoever. I mean, I'm interested more in. I'm more interested in a human story that stay behind the work rather than something.
That is a very interesting point. Maybe the artificial intelligence just follow the idea of the capitalism and focus on the product, not on the process. So the only importance is the result, but not what's behind. And sometimes disconnects or alienates from the idea of what an act of creation is. And the capitalism only focus on the result as a product. And quality or not quality, but the result. And maybe the creation, it's something that starts, as you say, from inside and explains the story. There's something behind. What does this creation comes from? So I think it's maybe we can say that it's another product of the capitalism. And maybe it's just a fashion. Maybe it doesn't work. Some technologies came and maybe then just for a few time because it's something new. Wow, it's super cool, and then at the end, who is interested? I go to a museum. Okay, creation by an AI. Okay, where is because
where's the story?
Art works with the name, and the name of what? The Windows 10 that did that, or whatever.
I mean, I maybe I go to a museum to look at art and painting, and my question is where the painter lived, in which period, what influences him or her, all this question with an IE is going to disappear.
I don't think that maybe will disappear or I think that the true artists will continue doing things and maybe this intrusion it's something that for people that does not create? Because how do you feel when I mean, how do you feel when you create something with your hands, with the frustration of the things that are not working, with the happiness when you succeed, and with all this part of the creation that is related to the human emotions? It's something that the machine can reproduce. So maybe for the people that it's just interested in the result, okay, but for the creators, and at the end, the people that loves art, it's people that feel that process, because no, as we were saying, because they are connected with this, because they have experienced it before. So probably this in the art circle, this will continue, because we need the experience of creating, I think.
Absolutely.
Yes, sure.
I agree.
About this, we've got, if Fabri and Fausto agree, we've got a question from the pub, our Telegram
Group
community
channel.
Okay.
Yeah. Marca heard something about one of your project, and you were saying that you want to elevate or rise up the painting. First, what do you mean with this sentence, if you remember? And then he asks where we can, what we can reach, and what do you are looking for? I mean, with the painting.
Okay.
Okay. The first question was that I was about related to something that I said. Where?
You said you want to elevate the painting. You want
I said that. Yeah. Because I think, at least for myself, I have painted for a long time, and for what I was saying about the box arts and all that I disconnected a bit with my paintings. For a long time, I was not sure that I wanted to be an artist, because I didn't feel an artist. I thought that artist it's something very big, and it's very it is very pretentious for me to pretend that I'm an artist, because I have a lot of admiration for the idea of being an artist. But the more I was painting, and I was thinking, okay, I've done this a lot of times, and I need something else. I need to start thinking about painting or the creation as something beyond the miniature, because the miniature, and it's redundant, but it's so small, and we are in a very little world, and there's a huge universe. Only if you go to Luca Comics and you met the illustrators of fantasy, and you realize how interesting that event with. So at some point, I just realized that I wanted to grow, and I cannot grow on the miniature industry only because I can try, because it's based on some ideas and things that are too much related to a hobby, to something I don't know, that it's just a leisure, something, hobby, to have fun and all that, and maybe it sounds a bit pretentious again, but I started to go to museums more, and watching painters, I don't know, whatever it is here in the contemporary art museum that we have in Barcelona, and I said, wow, I would like to at some point to do something like that. Then I realized that the problem with the miniatures is that I'm just a painter, and the product, what I've done is just a half part. So maybe unless I start sculpting, I won't be able, and that's my conclusion for this now, I won't be able to be an artist unless I start sculpting and creating all the product from zero. But I wanted my starting point at the same time. It's trying to create miniatures that are something contemporary, something that if someone that does not anything about miniature can see that and appreciate, because it's something that their eye can understand. It's a girl or a man or whatever it is in a natural situation, and I'm just thinking about, wow, this is super good painted or whatever, you know. It's not an orc, it's not fantasy stuff that we all like because we like fantasy, but the rest of the world doesn't know anything about fantasy, so they don't put that in context. Sorry for the long answer, but
no worries. Another problem about miniature as art is that we don't have a message in what we do most of the times. Not
in general,
always.
no. The Danish people with their Tue and Andrew, for example, they are trying to grow that, and they are succeeding, in my opinion, because they have done very interesting, and they have been an inspiration for a lot of people start doing now scenes with the background and all that. And I'm sure that eventually it will come. Roman, in my opinion, Roman Lapat has done a lot with that.
Sure.
So
there are some.
But I think that nowadays we are in an era where nerds win. You know, I mean, we are in a comic book. You know, the cinema, with video games are most of they're making lots of money. So I don't think that orcs fantasy is underrated nowadays. Probably now right now is the right time to came out with something of fantasy or whatever. I think it just I mean probably it's just because the miniature world is very, very small. Do you think that we are going to grow up? Do you think that we
are growing? We are growing a lot. The community, this is growing a lot. The thing is that it was that small that, and we have that. Just imagine that first, nowadays miniature painting, it's mostly something that just is interesting for men. Something that we actually should have a reflection. We should think about that. Why this is not attractive for women, and this is something in general. Okay, I have friends but it's just the 90% of the people interested in miniature are men. Why? You go to an art school, you go to art shop, and 90% of the people are women. So and you know that, Fabrizio. I mean, you go to a workshop, whatever it is, a painter, a sculptor. I have here a couple of schools, and I only see women there. And then in our workshops, we just have this. So there's a lot of things that we can do for growing this, and yet I think it's growing. Nowadays there are a lot of people that is working on miniature industry, and that was not possible 10 years ago. Sorry, Fabrizio.
No, you're right. I agree with you.
Christina said damn right. It's difficult to enter in an environment mostly men-based.
Yeah, you're right. That's another point.
We have to think what we are offering, just the point of view of the men, of the hetero men normative and all that.
So more boots.
Is a perspective of
more boots, less Space Marine.
I don't know. But we should think about that. If you want to be a universal art, first we have to be much more inclusive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Much more open-minded, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and giving some messages could be interesting for all the rest of the people not involved now. So that's a good point to grow. Let's see something of when I ask you to give me some photos, some of your paints. You choose just a few, and so we can share
interesting.
them.
Interesting.
So
Christina
why
is
you
saying
choose them?
something. Christina is saying something.
Okay,
interesting.
sorry.
Yes, Christina. Actually, I will. I am. Yeah. Actually, you will see the figure. I can show it now because I want to be.
Let me read. Let me read the sentence.
Yeah,
Let
sorry.
me read the
Because I
sentence
wrote it.
because maybe someone can't read. Having less sexualized representation of women in minis can also help. I agree, Christina.
Yeah.
The figure that I am going to release in a couple of months, it's everything but sexualized figure, and it shows the idea that I have in mind.
Very well.
It's just wait a second.
Okay.
They're knocking at the door.
No problem.
Yeah. No.
So can we collect? Do we have other questions?
Sorry.
You're welcome. So we have just a few, a little selection of your. You choose.
Yeah, for example, this picture that we are looking for, we are viewing, is a female. Is very, very good painted. Is very fascinating, without having boobs, naked, sort of stuff
without
like that.
Being too sad.
And is amazingly painted.
Yeah. So why you choose?
Just a small selection of miniature.
Tell us something about these figures you choose. It's about the painting. It's about your emotional.
I think it's because they connect a bit more with the idea that I have of painting, and there are things. I mean, this kind of figures. Well, this is not the example of what I was saying,
no,
but I think these ones or the other ones that I think that represents my idea of painting. I have changed a lot in these years. First, because I didn't have a clear idea of what painting was supposed to be for me, or what I was going to do. But then now I think that the projects that I want to represent me are the ones that I am much more connected with what they represent, what's behind them. Not only the artistic approach, but also something that, like this one, for example, that I feel that it's beautiful. It's a figure that I remember perfectly when I painted, and that I enjoy it a lot. And I don't know.
The sensation behind.
And I remember, for example, with this one, I discovered something, a documentary about a girl which is based. There's in Mongolia a falconry girl that and explains about the tribe. There is a documentary on cinema, and I was just the inspiration. I mean, I was not pretending to do exactly like that, but I think this kind of figures remind me what my painting started to be. I think it 2018, more or less, when I started to investigate things before I start painting a figure. In this case, I had the book. I have the book of Patrick, and I just started to focus on how he do things. How can I do things similar, but bringing to my way of painting, understanding the use of color. and then also with Cédric Peyravernet art, the dishonored busts that I painted. It was a similar idea, but then with the realistic or more realistic approaches, I enjoy very much. I have my iPad. I don't know what is it. Here. I have thousands of pictures, and I love to study. This, for example, I just I don't know if maybe I don't know. I was painting a soldier like this, okay, and I have like. Let me see if I can
show again, please. Okay, this is a reenactor, isn't it? This is a reenactors.
Just learning about materials, about the uniform, the color, the blah 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 blah. But then with the women, look, the one with the frog, the abracadabra. Look at that. If you can put the full screen.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was okay.
This exercise of studying, but also because it's super funny when we start learning deeply about painting, we realize how complex reality is, and all the details, all the mysteries. I don't know, it sounds a bit romantic, but I feel that when I started getting much deeply interested on painting, on art, not on miniature painting, on painting, because painting is painting. No, miniature is just another way of expressing the painting, but it's the same rules. And when I just open a bit my eyes for the influence of many painters, you know, when we go to contest, we share a lot of interest and impressions, and in this case, I started to get much more interested in photography, especially in photography, but also canvas painting, things like that. And it was I started to be very intense with the idea of the documentary and looking for different references, and these are some examples of that.
When you paint, sorry, Mark. When you paint a figure, do you use the pictures? I mean, the photograph pictures to help you to fix something, or just paint?
No. I use a lot of references, because I mean,
I'm talking about your figure. When do you use to shoot your figures in the process?
No, just no. I know it, but no. Usually, I paint directly on it. I take pictures because I need to have pictures of the process, but not the
not of your figure.
No. Okay. But for example, what I'm going to do, it's something related to that. For the next projects I will do, and especially this next figure I will release, I will take pictures of a real situation to understand. I mean, myself with my camera, with my photography camera, and taking some pictures and creating the conditions, not looking on internet for the pictures that adapt to what I want to do, but starting going outside to create that situation, to study the light and trying to build the reference exactly as I need it. And this is something that when I paint a figure for a brand or for a something that's already decided, I cannot do. But in this situation, and as I'm doing much contemporary figures, it will be easier for me to get that situation.
I remember Gianfranco Speranza. You know him, right?
Yeah.
When I don't know if you remember the Sheen that won the best of show in Monte San Savino, where that one with the noble knight on the horse with
the Louis 16,
with the golden cape, and he said that
this is one of the most impressive historical figures.
But he said that to make a cape, he built up in his home a structure where he poses in real cape in order to make yes.
That's it. I think it's cool that we usually think about that inspiration instead of creating our own inspiration, and maybe because we cannot create orcs or some fantasy, but if we are thinking in a much more open perspective of what the painting is.
Well, even if we paint an orc, he has to be, reflect the reality. Orcs wear, leather rather
spikes,
wood.
No, but these things, and I believe that at some point we were, or at least me, I grow in a moment of a major history that fantasy and historical were starting to go together. In Andrea, they started in 2007, it was maybe 2006 with the Warlord Saga, and they started producing 54 millimeter figures, those designs, and it was separated. And I think that now we are in a moment that fantasy, it's more close to, and I think that we evolve because we are not that narrow understanding for the historical, that narrow-minded with the idea of what historical is. It evolved. We took a lot from the historical and we evolved in fantasy painting. I remember the World Expo in 2008 in Girona, and then in 2011, and then in 2013. And in 2013, the fantasy was, and now fantasy is always the top. And sometimes, and I think that my point with this is that we rise this painting because we fusion the creativity with the reality, and the orc is not orc with multicolor fantastico. No. It has a part of something that reminds to reality, but in an imaginated, as all the movies nowadays, not the movies of the 80s or the 70s that were fantasy, and it was like, what the fuck is that? What the shit is that idea? Now we need a realistic fantasy. So we took the techniques, the lighting. I don't know if you agree with me.
Absolutely.
And now we fusion, and fantasy is more believable than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. And the only difference we had in Italy is that when you start close with historical, and we start with a fight between historical, but it's a long time ago. That's now it's really as you said. So it's fantastic to see that we can always. I can see that in miniature we can grow more and more because of what you said, and because we have so much stuff to do, to create. We are very young as painters, so there's a lot of things to do.
I'm getting older. I'm turning gray.
Yes, you're right, Dan.
Not Fabrizio.
No, me too. So that's very interesting. and I hope we have so many opportunities to grow up. And one of these is obviously with the game, with Games Workshops that is growing more and more.
Yeah.
And this is a big opportunity for us to have more public. And
I have a question about the Games Workshop. Are you going to paint some 30 millimeters again, or just you left?
Sure. I will go to Golden Demon next year.
Okay.
Not this one. I don't have anything. I would love to paint again 30 millimeters and small miniatures and all that. It's just that I'm not ready. I don't have time, and when I come back to that part of the painting, I would love to be able to do my best. I need some time. I've been focused on every time bigger sized models, and I have to admit that first my eyes are not the same. They still work, but no, and also it's that super small miniatures doesn't allow me to do the things I like to do nowadays.
The gesture.
So I'm much more interested in and I say Golden Demon because I would like to paint again Warhammer models. Just as that hobby part. And if I do that, actually, I would do it probably with the feeling of with the so close now to maybe to give a circle to the conversation with the giant and invent a scene and paint the small models, because I come from I remember when I was a teenager and my obsession was Games Workshop and Warhammer and all that. Absolutely. And now it's just like I don't remember the last time I painted a small figure, you know.
And then say the truth. Probably you want to fight against Albert.
I don't want to fight against Albert. Of course, I don't want. No, because Albert is.
I'm just joking.
I don't. No. It's. Well, somehow I want, because I know it's something challenging, and even I'm sure that I won't be able to do things as smooth as he does. It's something that I find it challenging, and also we are good friends, and the idea of competing directly with him, it makes me feel
is a competition in a good way, you know. Something that you admire.
Always. Actually, now you're saying that, I am thinking that this last years I decided that I didn't want to compete. To go to a competition, maybe go to an open, it's okay, but because I wasn't feeling competition in a healthy way with myself, and I pushed too much bad pressure to myself. You're not that good, don't go to that contest because people will see that your work is not that good, blah, 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 blah. All these things that we all do. So I realized that I didn't want to do that to myself, and it's like, okay, Marc, saying to myself as if I was my mother, until you don't behave properly, until you don't feel this in a healthy way, don't do that to yourself. If you're not mature enough to be able to feel this with no ego and pride, something that affects to you, because if I win or if I lose, I don't complain to anyone else but me. You didn't succeed because you didn't do that good. You have to push yourself more, and I don't need that pressure.
Okay. Understand.
I can understand.
Tue said, well, someone needs to show Albert he's not a god. He's a Super Saiyan fighting. But in any case, Fausto, you raised a question about the Marc and his sport.
No,
it is a good question.
Yes, because I saw probably on Facebook or on Instagram that you are a karateka or you're a martial artist passionate. Do you think that it have influenced your attitude or in any way your miniature career?
Yeah, for sure. It first it helped me not to lose my mind because when I suffered for a long time a lot of anxiety, but this is not something that you stop suffering. It's just something that comes with you for the rest of the life. But then you manage the way to have it, you know, in a controlled way, and you live with it. But for a long time, it helped me to, because I spent a lot of time painting. Alone, and my only company was my thoughts. So training was the only moment I was able to connect with another part of myself, my body, and disconnect from that. So when I started training when I was 20, and more or less that time I was starting doing this as a job. It became my hobby, but also it became my therapy. And I became very stubborn with I have to go every week, at least 3 days. I have to be very constant. I have to be, it helped me to organize and to become a much more wouldn't say rigid, but much more
focused on what you organized and focused on what you're doing.
Disciplinado.
Disciplinado.
Sí. Yes. And in time, I think sometimes I use this as example because in karate, especially, you have one part that is the Kihon, which is the basic techniques, and you repeat the technique on the air, the defense, whatever it is, one time and another. It's like to train the muscular memory. Yeah. And I have I taught in workshops, and sometimes I teach things the same way I would do it in karate. It's like, okay, you have to train your wrist to understand this movement. For example, a glaze, control the pressure, control the distribution of the paint, or the stippling, whatever the technique it is. It's just, or also train your wrist to draw long strokes to create whatever it is. And I, in the classes, I give the students a paper, and don't try on the miniature, try here, and repeat the movement, understand the movement, and here now.
You're a bit in late, but you can watch it tomorrow. The rest of the interview. No worries.
Yeah, the answer is yes, totally. Okay. But it became like me. It's painting and martial arts. So
part of your life. Totally part of your life.
Yeah.
I have another question. Probably the last one for tonight. If you could meet yourself 10 years ago with the inglorious time machine, what would you tell yourself and why?
Oh, shit. I should have prepared this.
That's good. That's good.
I would probably, related to work, I would probably say that don't hurt, or don't be that bad with yourself. Like love yourself a little bit more. Treat yourself
really
better.
Good advice.
Then do whatever, but love yourself a little bit more. You know, that feeling of don't attack yourself. Don't put that much. Don't live with guilty all the time. And yeah, I would have said that to me. Many other things, like kiss that girl, don't smoke that joint, things like that. Don't accept that shot that will brought you to a terrible hangover, things like that. But apart from that,
Most important
it will be
one.
probably like that.
Yeah, probably
Nice reply.
your own mind is sometimes is a poison, you know, for yourself. Is your own poison.
Yeah. Hey, Will.
Hey,
So
Yeah. I don't know if it happens to you that sometimes you are very strict with yourself with what you do, and you push yourself, and you're very critic with what you do.
Always.
Yes, always.
No, I think it's something common maybe that we all
it's a
have.
common situation. And it's all days probably. Not so.
Yeah.
So it's normal. So,
But it's the engine maybe that helps us to improve, to go on somehow.
Sometimes, but sometimes it can let you go in a burnout.
Totally.
Can give you a
Totally. I've been there. Yeah. Totally agree.
but that's why we are doing also this Pittori Senza Gloria, because to be more relaxed, have fun, and that's a part of our distressing point. So
yes, the thing is, Mark. The thing is that in a certain point, I want to feel free, to admire other painters. And not say, "Oh, I'm better than him," or he did this. I have to do more. Come on, fuck off. I want to be relaxed. I want to enjoy the other works and the other painters. I'm a big fan of lots of painters, and I'm enjoying.
That is an interesting. I wanted to talk about, if I can, about one thing related to what you said. What do you think about the idea of the number 1, the number 3, the top 5, the best painter, and all that? What do you think about that idea? Because nowadays I feel like, okay, do we really need to say that this is the best? As something absolute, as if there was like a ATP ranking where you can say, because you won that and that contest, or because you have that so many followers, or because many famous people say that you are the best, that means that you are better than anyone else.
I mean, it's useless. We did a video about this, the best painter of painter of 2022.
Yeah, I think I remember that there was a discussion in Facebook too about.
Yes.
I remember.
Probably the person that were typing the question or typing the sentences, they didn't catch our message, or at least because we were talking in Italian. So it's just not so easy to comprehend what we were saying. But it's useless, the first, second, and third place. There's no first, second, and third place whatsoever. It's just someone that we admire a lot. And for the whole year, we took pictures from internet that gave us inspiration, that gave us motivation, and we want to
celebrate them.
That's the word that they were looking for. We want to celebrate those artists to mention in our show, in our talk, And then we said, okay, let's see who in our view this year gave us more feeling, more
emotions.
Emotions. And we said we agree. We at the beginning we said, okay, my top is this, all of them. Say, well, we can't say. Let's choose.
You can say your
one.
top, and that's the thing.
Absolutely.
But as something absolute.
No.
And no way to say that I am in that. I don't want to say this about this. But,
but in any case, my top is that they were all of person that I follow in internet. So there's no my favorite. But they say we agree that okay, Kiri Kanev he's doing, he always did a lot for the community, like idea, like experimental stuff, like to share. He did great stuff, and we celebrate him with this play, with this game, the best painted 2022. But it's just a game. Probably it's just been misunderstood.
Yeah. About that video, I can say that probably the persons who wrote on Facebook didn't watch the video and didn't understood.
It usually happens this in internet.
Absolutely.
You complain and you don't know anything about the story. Just
the wild thing is that probably they know me and they know that that I did so many contests, and I don't want to do that as a contest. It was just about what we love to see. That's the main but obviously to catch attention, we said who is the best painter, or I don't remember which was the question, but it was just about to catch people for the show. But in the show, we only had some Italians talking, and that was the problem in the talking. So
because no one followed.
Yeah,
I mean, at last, who wrote the comments didn't realize what we were saying in our live.
I have to agree with what Tukai said. I think that the best painter in the world, the second one, the third one, we can say it's part of a competition. The competition spirit of miniature world. I think that actually in miniature world we have some miniature painter that don't care at all about competition, being the first one, the second one, or the third one. And another part instead of miniature painters that take care of it. And we are a bit in a limbo where some people need that competition spirit to evolve and to create new stuff. And other miniature painters that don't care at all about this and can live and enjoy the hobby without the competition at all. We are in a particular moment for miniatures where some people call already it art, some people don't call it art, some people don't like competition, some people like competition in miniature. We are in a weird moment for miniatures. I think that things will evolve naturally, just leaving the miniature world. We will see.
Yeah,
I enjoy making competitions, but because I stopped to think too much seriously about this. I mean, I'm just want to take the good way of competition, to meet people and as we said before, fight in a good manner against someone that I admire. I take fun about that. It's just a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But competition can create some really good energy, some really good vibes in us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for some other people, competition can create some negative energy. So,
I'm sure that at some point we all have been on that negative energies. It's something that comes to the competition. Until you don't have some perspective, it's difficult not to have anyone who lies that who says that never felt bad after a competition or had any level situation, but not a healthy one, is lying. Because no matter if when I was, and at some point it always happens, because you put a lot of illusion. But it will happen, but not in miniature, in whatever you do. You go to a football tournament with your team, and then the referee does something that you are not agree, and then it always happens. It's normal, because it's the emotion, it's the tension. The thing is that I don't know who was saying this, and we talk about that this week, that at the end, thinking about the art as something that we have to rate, not for the quality, but especially, I know that is the business behind all this, and the competition is much more attractive than just an exhibition. But if we focus all on that, it's just seeing one part of what it could be. It's so a romantic idea to think that we will share our figures just for the joy of doing it. The competition is a challenge, it's a motivation, and all that.
That's the point. I mean, it's a challenge and motivation. You know what I mean? It's a motivation.
No, for sure.
But
I
in a
never
good way.
train it
My point of
more.
view
It's before that situation that you push yourself to the limit, because it's where you want to evolve. It's like the in any situation of the life, even in a war, in a international conflict, the countries invest much more in technology, because they have to win the race of the science and to be better of the rest, and they put a lot of money that usually they don't do. As an example, it happens the same with training for a competition. You push yourself to the limit because you have to be better. If there was no challenge, if there was no competition, we wouldn't push. But then once you are there, I think we have to enjoy the result, and that's all. You've done your best, that's it, and not thinking. But it's complicated. I think it's so naive thinking that
it's complicated, and it's so personal. So
but it's also personal, because in this world, Fabrizio, we all know each other. It's difficult to disconnect from that, because and someone will say, I didn't get the medal because I think that person doesn't like me, and we always have excuses for that, and probably sometimes we're right, and some others maybe we're not, but also because it's very difficult to disconnect the personal. It's art, it's emotion above all. That is rational, of course, but what do you think about the idea of we have to find the best way of writing an open contest with some objective rules that define what piece is better? It's not possible. And the same display judged by different group of judges will get sometimes a different result. It's not possible to objectivate the painting, as there were like some mathematic rules to define that the composition a 9, the painting a 9.5, the color it's a 7. How? It's perception, and something that you feel that it's beautiful, other person will say
absolutely agree. And for this we have to respect all judges, because we are playing in
because when you are judging, you realize that you want to be respected, because it's so difficult.
Yes.
So when do we meet next time, and where?
Monte for sure, as all the years. Monte for sure. I don't think I will be able to go to SMC. I will be in Madrid probably if there are contests. I think in the Freak Wars, it's a contest at the end of at the beginning of September, and then if I go, I will probably go to Milano this year. For business.
Okay.
To bring some things.
Okay.
I will probably go to Milan at some point when I finish a project that has been waiting for a long time. I think, and also if there's a chance to organize something, a meeting or whatever.
For sure.
Just send a
And
message.
the rest, I don't know. Golden Demon, I won't be. Are you attending to Golden Demon? You do, Fabrizio?
Yeah, I will.
No,
Yeah?
me no.
No?
Me and
Stefan,
Lara.
you're going too? Yeah?
Yes, I'm going.
Oh,
I'm very excited.
Is the first one? No.
No. It's not. It's the second one. No, the third one. Sorry, it's the third one. But I went last year. I so enjoyed it. I can't.
I am sad that I can come again, but well, it will be super long now. But the thing is that after USA, that first weekend, I have a meeting with my friends, and I have to change sometimes. Not only work, I prefer to going on a barbecue.
Yes, of course.
And a party with my friends that doesn't know anything and they don't have any interest on miniature art, painting, and all that, rather than investing another weekend with work. Because at the end, I need to oxygen. Then I'm sure that it would be incredible to be there, learning. This year, Monte was incredible, with all the Americans, the new people I met, sharing, learning. I enjoyed this very much. But also, sometimes one weekend a month, maybe for personal stuff.
You just have to be free from miniatures.
You have to
Totally deserve it.
switch off.
Totally deserve it. That's good.
The very last question. Very last question.
Okay.
Metal,
I
metal.
have to go dinner, and I don't have to go home, and I have to find a place to buy a burger or whatever.
So, okay. So metal, non-metal, or true metal? I'm joking. I'm joking.
I won't answer.
Okay. So it has been a very pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marc.
Thank you so much for inviting. Hope that we met again. Thank you so much, and congratulations for this. I really hope that more people get interested in this kind of programs, because it's what makes this community. I find it very interesting sharing what you said, Fabrizio, that having some time to share opinions, impressions about not only in contest.
So that's when we can we want to show our ideas. So that's a good point. Thank you, really. So
thank you so much.
See you all as soon as possible, and let us know when you will be in Milan. And
I will.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
You too. Ciao.
Thank you all.
Ciao. Ciao.
See you all.